Welcome to our presentation tips to help student drivers pass their driving test. As you know, everyday driving and passing the driving test are different. It's stated on the DMV driving evaluation score sheet you will sign at the beginning of the drive test. To pass, you must have no more than 3 errors marked for items 9 to 14 on the pre-drive checklist, no marks in a critical driving error section, and no more than 15 errors marked for the scoring maneuvers. So we will evaluate each of those sections. So DMV requires student drivers to satisfy minimum requirements in order to pass driving test. During the test, examiner will only give you directional commands and will not point student driver errors as instructors do. Examiner will review the whole test performance upon finishing the test. Our goal is to inform and prepare student drivers ahead of time to know what to do and also what not to do or avoid to do on the test in order to pass. Now let's start with the section number 1. Section number 1, it's called pre-drive checklist. So technically items 1 to I should say 7 are actually technical questions. So you're going to be asked to show your turn signals left and right, and examiner will check front and back if they're working properly. They're going to check brake lights. They're going to check do you have a foot brake? Then you're going to press the horn. You also have to show with your index finger where emergency parking brake is. Some call it a hand brake. Also arm signals. There's 3 arm signals for left turn, right turn, slower stop. Then windshield wipers, defroster, emergency flashers, and headlights. In the bottom left corner of examiner sheet, it is a critical driving error section. If you do any of those, it's called automatic failure of the test. So let's review them one by one, what it means. First one is called intervention by examiner, which means if examiner grabs the wheel, if he tells you slow down or stop, if you drive too close to the vehicle. So if they intervene by any means, that's critical error. Next one is strikes object in a curb. On the test, you're going to be asked to back up in a straight line 100 feet. So if you touch the curb, that's it. Disobey traffic sign or signal. This means if you run through the yellow or red light, if you don't stop properly, if you don't yield on a stop sign or yield sign, and so on. The next one is disobey safety personnel or safety vehicle. You know, those construction road workers and their signs. Also emergency vehicles, you have to yield to them. The next one is called dangerous maneuver. For examiner, dangerous maneuver can be anything. Driving too close to the side of the road, driving in the middle of the road, driving close to the object, driving close to the other cars, and so on. Speed. Speed is very important on a test. Lots of people actually, I should say, don't respect the speed. So one of the 8 golden rules, it says check speedometer, so to keep driving speed in range 0 above and no more than 4 miles below the posted speed limit. For example, if the speed limit is 35, what's our speed? 30 to 34. Or for example, if posted speed limit 25, we should drive between 21 and 24, not 25, not 19, right? Then we have auxiliary equipment use, which means if you use music, headsets, using correct turn signals and so on. And then you have a lane change. Lane change requires something which we call SMOGS. It's acronym for word signal, mirrors, over the shoulder check, go when safe only. This must continue immediately when you turn your signals on, changing lanes, entering the bike lane, regardless the side, left or right or turn. We have a section number 3, which is called driving maneuvers. Well, you probably realize that you can have only 15 points missing on this portion. You see those little circles? Those are the points you can miss when you're turning, when you're driving through intersection, when you do parking lot driving, when you drive business, residential, lane change, backing, and so on. On the left side, there is a freeway, but that's a cross because it's excluded now from the drive test. On the right side, as you see, some of those are marked. Those are recommendations from DMV examiner, what you need to work on to improve. So let's review those. You can have more than 15. As you see, it's over 200, those little circles. So it means you can have 200 points. So out of 200, you cannot have more than 15 missing points. Okay? So let's start with those 8 golden rules. We already said 2, but they are unwritten. You can find them in any book, and you must then practice during entire test time, all the time. Test is all about really pretending those rules. Okay, number 1, scan, look left, right, and left again every 10 to 15 seconds through the windshield. Number 2, check mirrors, all 3, every 30 to 45 seconds. Move your head left and right so to see mirrors. So make it so obvious so examiner will see you checking. Number 3, every intersection, check left and right. Look through the left window and to the right window. Make it so obvious so examiner will see that you're checking. Number 4, you must turn right against red light, but only when it's safe. When turning right, must do SMOGS first. When safe, enter the bike lane. When line is dashed or last 100 feet before the turn, then check left, center, right, and left again, and proceed when safe. If necessary, take time until the safest option is to make the turn. Yield to about 500 feet gap on the left or right. Next one, must yield and check left, center, right, and left again to oncoming traffic and pedestrians when turning left or right on solid green light. Next one, must use the center left turn lane when turning left. Hands on the wheel at all the times. Must yield to pedestrians, bikers, and jaywalkers all the time. Now, we should do several other things. Intersection, stop behind the limit line with the front bumper. Make smooth, gradual, full stop. Check left, center, right, and left again. Proceed when safe. When you do lane change, keep the same speed while changing lanes. Do not slow down unless absolutely necessary. On a parking lot driving, speed limit is 10 miles an hour, and stop for every single pedestrian. On the test, you will have to perform parking backing by the curb. So we can recommend it how you can perform this one. First, you will have to perform SMOGS to the curb. So signal, mirrors, over the shoulder, go when safe when you getting close to the curb. Then park straight within 18 inches or closer to the curb. So keep your wheel straight and vehicle parallel to the curb. Hold the left hand wheel and signal handler simultaneously so the wheel will be straight and fixed. Shift to reverse and post your right arm behind the passenger seat. Look over your right shoulder and out to the back window. Take your foot off the brake slowly so you can control the speed and drive continuous speed and stop and be ready to stop if necessary. Alternate scanning behind you rear window and to the right side mirror window. Stop when instructed. When merging back to the traffic, you must do SMOGS, signal, mirror, over the shoulder, go when safe. So you realize that when you doing this maneuver, so backing by the curb, you must do SMOGS when you pull into the curb and also when you're merging back to the traffic. During the test, keep calm, confident, safe, and defensive. Do not acknowledge any error that you made in the meantime. When you finish your test and park in front of the DMV, the examiner will kind of look at his paper, add all those numbers that he actually encountered as your errors, and he will write in a far right corner the number. If that number is under 15, he will probably mark passing, and you have accomplished your goal. You pass your driving test. If that number is over 15, then you probably have to retake again. If any of those sections in a critical driving error section is marked, that means it's critical error, it's an automatic fail. So we love to hear something from you if you have any other experience. And you can always write us or text us. Our phone number is 760-712-3077. Our other phone number is 424-409-1382. Our website is premierdriving.info. All these 8 golden rules will be written in the description of this video. We wish you safe driving and defensive driving, and you will pass your test if you do everything we spoke in this video.